Ready for segment 2? I also have some dark gray in this yarn. So for this segment, I'm going to change color. You may if you want, but it's your scarf. You do not have to. This section is going to be garter stitch. Garter stitch is knit one row, purl one row. So I'm going to purl this row, and while I do, we'll talk about why it's knit one row, purl one row. Because if you are a hand knitter, you're going to say that woman is crazy. You just keep knitting and it comes out garter stitch. But when you are hand knitting, you turn the work. You knit your row, all the work is now on the second needle, you flip it over and you knit it back to the first. We never flip our looms over. So purling the second row is the equivalent of turning the work on the needles and knitting off to the other needle. Hope that made sense to you. Basically what happens when you turn the work is one row is facing one direction, the following row is facing the other direction, and that has the effect of making the deeply textured fabric of garter stitch that does not roll. And we will get the identical effect doing this, knit one row, purl one row. I'd already knitted one row when the movie started, so now I'm purling the next one. And I think that we'll do 4 rows in total of this, or I will. You may, of course, do any amount you want. After this one, since I've purled this row, I will knit back and then purl the 4th row. For that little bit of length, I'm going to leave my original color attached. I'll have ends to weave in of the gray, but I really don't mind carrying my beige up the side for that little bit. And let's see, for your information, 2 things occur to me. I'm still slipping the first stitch, so we'll knit to the end of the row, but when I start purling back, that first stitch will be slipped as I slipped the first stitch when I started wrapping for the knits. The other thing you might want to know is that the number of seed stitch rows that I knitted in segment 1 is 8. There is no rule that yours has to match mine, but that's what I decided worked for me. We're using the Kiss U-stitch here. As you know, Kiss looms are the looms I prefer to knit on. But just so you know, if you have another loom that you'd like to try this on, simply select knit and purl stitches that work for that loom and yarn that works for that loom, and you would be able to knit the same thing. This will be our final row of garter stitch. So I'll knit across, you finish yours, and I'll talk to you later.